Have you ever noticed how easy it is to start something, but ridiculously hard to actually finish it? Look, I know people get excited. They plan, they brainstorm, they take a lot of notes, they watch a lot of videos, they do a lot of research, and then they stay in that stage forever. Most online businesses today never become businesses. They stay stuck in pilot mode. They become a project, not a launch, not an income stream, not momentum. Pilot mode feels productive, but it's really just delay with nicer branding. Why does this happen? Because starting is fun and safe. Launching means risk. Launching means exposure. Launching means you have to commit. And most people, especially in this new AI era, they get stuck tinkering with ideas, with tools, with tutorials, with branding, instead of ever pulling the trigger. They think that they're building, but they're actually preparing to build. That's a completely different world. And here's the painful truth. The longer you stay in pilot mode, the harder it becomes to ever switch over to execution mode. Pilot mode is like sitting in the driveway, revving your engine. There's a lot of noise, but there's no movement. Look, here's the wild part. Most people don't even realize they're stuck in this phase. They say things like, I just need to learn a little bit more first. Or, I want to make sure I pick the right software. Or, I'm almost ready. Let me tell you, those sentences repeat for months, sometimes years. Now, Gen Xers especially fall into this trap. Do you know why? Because we grew up in a world where perfection mattered. You finished your work before you turned it in. You did it right the first time. You didn't go halfway. That's a strength, but it becomes a weakness in the digital world because online business doesn't reward perfection. It rewards launching and improving after launch. In the old world, you measured twice and cut once. In this world, you cut, then you adjust. Now that's uncomfortable for us, but it's how wins happen now. And here's what's quietly separating the ones who succeed. They use systems already proven. They don't sit around trying to achieve everything from scratch. They don't invent the wheel. They simply start driving the car that's already built. They don't spend 3 months figuring out how to connect 12 different software tools. They step into something that's already integrated. That's 2 hours a day on income producing work instead of 6 hours trying to configure settings. That's the difference between people who stay in pilot mode and people who go live. Here's the new reality. Today, the world moves too fast for long built phases. If you wait until it's perfect, it'll be outdated before it launches. Launch small, launch imperfect, launch with guardrails, launch with structure, launch, then adjust. That's how Gen X thrives in this era, not by being the most tech savvy, but by being the most consistent. If you've been stuck in that almost ready, just know this. You don't need another plan. You don't need another playlist. You don't need another month of research. You need one thing. Go from pilot to live. Let the momentum teach you what to do, what to adjust. Become a small engine moving forward, because a small engine moving forward beats a big engine revving in place every single time.